Have you ever asked yourself, why am I so frugal? Or why am I working so hard to become frugal? Well, I'm with you, and in this video I'd like to share 7 problems that frugal living has solved for me. That is to say, 7 reasons that I'm really frugal. What problems does frugal living solve? Let's talk about it. Welcome, I'm Amy, and here at the Frugal Diaries, I give you tips and tools for frugal living. And in this video, I'd like to talk about something quite personal, which is problems that I have had that frugal living has solved for me, or that is currently helping me solve. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments what problems you have that you are looking for frugal living to help you solve. Let's go. Number 1, frugal living has helped me solve the problem of impulse buying. This is an ongoing issue for me. And for this, I would like to bring you here into my bedroom to see what I have in my closet. I've already pulled this out. Up here at the top of the closet, you can see a space from which I pulled out these things. Do you know what these are? These are packing cubes. Everywhere you would read something about travel several years ago, you would see about packing cubes, packing cubes, packing cubes. They help you pack more efficiently. I love to travel, I love to pack efficiently, and I thought these probably won't work for me, but everybody else says they're gonna work for me, so I should try them. And it was an impulse purchase. I used them once or twice. They never worked. I'll show you why. They're quite floppy, and they only have a limited amount of space, and they're varying sizes, and none of the sizes or shapes worked for the way that I pack. They didn't fit in my suitcase. They didn't hold the belongings that I take with me when I travel. They didn't work in any way, shape, or form for anything that I did. And you know what I've done since? Nothing. I've bought nothing new related to how to pack inside of a suitcase. Instead, I've taken my time and I've thought carefully about what I actually need. And you have seen that if you've seen my videos on travel, where I talk about the under-seat suitcase that I ended up getting. That was perfect, and it wasn't an impulse buy. It was something where I thought about what I needed first, I researched it, I took my time, and I bought it when I was ready. So, these impulse bought items that have done me no good and have just taken up space in my closet that I could use for something else, they're gonna go to Goodwill, where somebody who can use them will love them. Number 2 is related, and it takes us from my bedroom closet into my bathroom, where we're going to talk about following consumer trends. Following consumer trends is rarely the best idea if you're trying to live frugally, but it's often a common problem, and I thought I was immune to it until this happened. I have here a bronzer that I love to use, and it works fine. I've used the same one for years, and then I decided to follow consumer trends, and instead of getting something that works for me, I saw this one that said matte bronzer. This is a new consumer trend. I should buy it. For many of you, this color of bronzer would be absolutely ideal. This matte level of bronzer would be absolutely ideal, but for me, it was a consumer trend gone wrong. I might be able to use this as eyeshadow. It would be extremely inappropriate for me to try to use it as bronzer because it's much too deep in color for my skin tone. And it was a consumer trend that I tried to follow. And I keep it around just to remind myself not to follow consumer trends and instead stick with what works. And in fact, buy a backup when you know that you're about to run out of the one that you actually like. Consumer trends often nickel and dime us to death, so to speak. They don't really hit us with, you need to buy a boat. They don't really hit us with, you need to buy $1 million mansion. But it hits us in, oh, just buy this new little thing that's just a little bit more trendy than the one that you have, which is actually working for you. So whether it's impulse buying or following consumer trends, these are problems that I'm probably gonna have for the rest of my life. And frugal living helps me tackle them head on and helps me solve them. For number 3, we're back in front of my piano, which is crucial because in number 3, I want to talk to you about the problem of not knowing and not understanding my own financial situation. This was a big issue, it's a serious issue, it is an ongoing issue. I notice that every time I change something I'm doing in my life, have a major life change or even a minor one, I lose track of my finances. I'm here in front of my piano because my classic way to handle that is to take on more voice students. Do you know what? There are only a certain number of voice students available, only a certain number of hours in the day, and just taking on more voice students, although I love teaching voice and it's lots of fun and I love singing, that doesn't solve the particular problem that I have of not understanding my financial situation. My biggest issue was I don't understand the relationship between those green printed papers and things that I actually want and need. And I genuinely have never been able to grasp it until I started using You Need a Budget as my budget plan. I talk about it here a lot. In fact, I have a whole budgeting series that I'd love to ask you to watch. And in order for me to understand my financial situation, I have to come here to my computer. I have to get on You Need a Budget. I have to get into my bank accounts, and I have to look at how much I've spent. And then I also have to look at what bills are coming up that I need to pay. And sometimes that can be really scary for me. When I don't understand my financial situation, one of the big things that I don't understand is what's coming up. And I may not know how I'm going to pay it. But if I don't understand my financial situation, then I can't make a plan. And if I can't make a plan, I can't really be frugal. And so one of the things frugal living helps me solve is that idea of how to be frugal by understanding my financial situation. For me, that has come through You Need a Budget. If you have been a person who needed to learn how to understand your finances, tell me down below in the comments, what was the one thing that helped you solve that problem of not understanding your finances? It is so, so crucial. By the way, if you're new here, I'm so happy to welcome you. I hope that you'll give this video a like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll get notified first of new videos. If you would like to contribute to the growth of the channel, click the link below for Buy Me a Coffee, where you can make a one-time contribution or become a monthly member. Now let's get back to these tips. Number 4 is that frugal living solved my need to be organized. Not just financially, but generally around the household, in my daily routine, and frugal living helped me get a handle on that. It may seem like not a direct line, but frugal living gave me a way to focus my entire daily existence. What is the most frugal way to do this? What is the way that gives me the most value for my money, for my time, for my experience? And I even created here on the wall something that I do as a routine, my daily dozen. And some of you have been looking at this and asking about it. So I have made that into a free printable. You click the link in the description box below, and if you enter your email, you'll be able to get access to this, where you can put it as a PDF on your computer, or you can print it out and write on it. I keep the same routine on there. Some tasks that I complete every day of the week, some tasks that I complete Monday through Friday. These organizational tasks help me shape the decisions that I make, and also as I am completing important tasks, I am not spending money, so therefore I am being frugal. So I'm making wise decisions about my time, and I'm making wise decisions about my money, and that's frugal. For number 5, we're gonna go and check in with Goldie today. Goldie's frugal diary, beyond wanting lots of treats, is that frugal living helps us identify and solve the cost and other problems associated with raising a family. Many of us have done that over the course of our lives, and we know that expenses associated with raising a family can be significant. And along with taking you to see Goldie, I want to take you back to the heart of everything that happens when it comes to raising my family over the years, and that's right here in the kitchen. There are so many costs associated with raising a family that are unexpected and not predictable, that it's really worthwhile and in fact necessary to focus on the things that we can control, that we can take care of. And it could be something as simple as looking at your kitchen and going, well, this probably needs a good cleanup. I'm going to take care of that right now, which could then result in giving you some ideas for food that you could prepare based on leftovers. Prepared some wonderful juk based on Thanksgiving leftovers a week ago, and it came out great, just tossing leftovers into a pot. Now, it seems like you spend a lot of money on a Thanksgiving meal, and then what are you going to do next? But if you have a frugal way to use up your leftovers, and you have a kitchen that's clean where you can make those leftovers work for you, then you have taken a small but significant step towards taking care of the costs associated with raising a family. Because one of the biggest costs, of course, is feeding and cleaning and keeping a roof over everybody's heads. There are things that are going to come that we can't predict, that we don't know about, and we can calm ourselves just a bit by taking care of these wonderful, everyday, comforting things that are small in the moment, but that add up over time to a focus on frugal living, a focus on caring for those that we love, and a focus on keeping our finances under control as best we can. For number 6, I want to alternate between spending some time with you here at my desk, which is where it all happens, and I want to take you out in nature. And one of the problems that frugal living helps us to address, if not to solve, is the problem of lack of financial stability. And we have talked about this before. I've mentioned it in videos and you have responded very positively in the comments about what happens when we have lived with abuse in our relationships. And particularly for those of us who have experienced financial abuse and are coming out of that experience and trying to stabilize our finances, frugal living can be a real lifeline, because just simple choices that we make, that we have the power to make finally for ourselves, can give us a sense of strength and a sense of hope for our own future. And I encourage you to take those small decisions every single day that make you more frugal, that make you feel more focused on your frugal living journey, because it's a way of taking back our lives. And we need to reach out for help to those who can help us. And we need to reach out to nature to give us some insights into the fact that the earth does go on. Flowers grow, grass is green, the seasons change in some parts of the world, and life does go on. It's the way of taking what our millennial friends call our agency, our ability to live our own lives as we choose. And some of that may have been broken or shattered or taken away from us, but even the little places where we make small decisions about our finances increase our stability, at least in the moment, and often those small in-the-moment choices bring long-term possibility for financial stability. And we're back here at my piano for number 7, where we're going to talk about peace of mind. Frugal living helps solve the problem of not having enough of it. Frugal living helps us to have an abundance of peace of mind. And I'm here at the piano because I want to talk to you about one of the methods that you can use to attain an immediate increase in your peace of mind. And it's something that I use as a singer and a voice teacher. It's a way of breathing. If you put your hand on your belly button, and then you put another hand right here on the squishy bit underneath your ribs, and you blow out your air, you'll notice that your abs go in and up, and then do this. Stick out your stomach and open your mouth. Do you feel the air rush in? And then blow out your air, bring your abs in and up. And then stick out your stomach and open your mouth. You feel everything soften. You feel yourself fully oxygenating your body and your brain. And you can do this a few times. And when we take small, simple steps like this on a daily basis, we bring peace of mind in a way that costs nothing except literally a few seconds of time and a little bit of air. Does this solve the world's problems? No. Does it solve all of your problems? All of the ones that you brought to this video? No, absolutely not. I would never tell you that. But when we can focus on the small things like this, like taking a deep breath in a true deep way, then it helps us to focus our thoughts. It helps us to calm our minds. That helps us to make better financial decisions. It helps us to focus our frugal priorities. It helps us to solve the problems that we came to frugal living in order to solve. Wherever you are on your frugal living journey, take the next step, whatever that next step is for you. And know that you are not alone, and I am so proud of you. Live frugally, change your life, and together we will change the world. I can't wait to see you again soon. Bye-bye.